2024, Americans owe over $5 trillion in non-housing consumer debt, enough to buy every NFL, NBA, and MLB team 10 times over.
I really need to start using Klarna to get your groceries.
I'm 22 years old and have $100,000 worth of debt.
It's like I literally once financed a bottle of body wash.
And it's not just the number that's alarming. We're surrounded by psychological traps and hidden fees designed to keep us in debt. But how did we get here? Well, a big part of the problem is that we are constantly surrounded by flashy marketing and hidden fees.
$40,000 in personal loans.
One of the most dangerous and manipulative trends, buy now, pay later programs. And they're quietly wreaking havoc, especially on young adults. Let's start with the basics. Pay later is a short-term financing option offered by companies like Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay. You'll usually see these options at online checkout, allowing you to buy an item today while splitting the cost into smaller, interest-free installments. Imagine you're booking a trip and need a new suitcase. It costs $300, but instead of paying that full amount up front, you break it into 4 payments of $75 over a few weeks. No interest, no fees. Sounds perfect, right? Well, not quite. This isn't some breakthrough in fintech. In fact, it's a reboot of something old. Back in the day, stores like Kmart and Sears offered layaway programs. You'd pay in installments, and once the item was paid off, you'd finally get to take it home. But buy now, pay later flips that model. You get the product immediately and then make the payments over time. It feels convenient, it feels modern, but it's built on the same foundation, encouraging people to spend money they don't really have yet. But if there's no interest, how are these companies making billions? Let's talk about how buy now, pay later became so massive and why it's not as harmless as it seems. This trend has exploded in recent years. Buy now, pay later purchases went from $2 billion in 2019 to $24.2 billion in 2021, and they're projected to hit $122 billion by 2025. So why is this happening? There are 3 major cultural shifts driving this surge. First, debt is the new normal. We're not just swiping cards anymore. We're financing $5 coffees like they're Teslas. Lunch on a 36-month payment plan with Krusty Pay. Lip gloss, buy now, cry later. Debt isn't just a survival tool anymore. It's a fashion statement. Thanks to shiny apps with pastel logos and soothing fonts, borrowing money now feels as classy as brunch with Marge's book club, minus the judgment. It's all fun and games until Milhouse defaults on his mozzarella stick loan, social media's illusion of enough. Scroll through Instagram or TikTok and you're bombarded with influencers flashing Rolexes, vacations, designer hauls, not as goals, but as baseline expectations. You start to believe you deserve the same life, no matter the cost. Can't afford it? No problem. BNPL lets you fake it till you make it, with payments that softly say, you're not overspending, you're just smart. Post-pandemic revenge spending. After years locked down, scared, and stuck at home, people aren't just buying, they're reclaiming lost time and joy. Call it revenge spending. Call it self-care. BNPL companies whisper, you've earned this. What they don't say, you'll pay. And it won't just be in dollars, it's your financial future on the line. Put it all together, with a generation often lacking solid money skills. And what do you get? A dangerous cocktail of instant gratification served with zero real awareness of the long-term cost. You might be asking, if there's no interest, what's the catch? Let's compare buy now, pay later to credit cards. Credit cards usually require a credit check, application approval, and a limit based on your creditworthiness. They often charge high interest, 19% to 23%, and come with late fees if you miss a payment. Buy now, pay later programs, on the other hand, are usually instantly approved at checkout, no hard credit check required. While they boast 0% interest, that only applies if you pay on time. Miss a payment? You'll be hit with late fees of $5, $10, $15, or even 25% of your total purchase. And these companies know many people will miss payments because unlike credit cards, BNPL targets impulse buyers with no friction in the buying process. That's intentional. So wait, if there's no interest, how are these companies raking in billions? Let's break it down. Here's the truth they don't want you to hear. That $120 sneaker you're splitting into 4 easy payments? That's not innovation, it's a distraction. While you're patting yourself on the back for budgeting smarter, BNPL companies are pulling off a financial magic trick that would make Wall Street blush. It all starts with the retailers. They happily fork over 4 to 6% in fees, twice what credit cards charge. Because BNPL customers buy on impulse, emotion, and in crazy volume. It's not just boosting sales, it's rewiring your brain to spend more. For brands, it's a goldmine. For you, a trap glittering with temptation. But here's the kicker, the real jackpot, when people fail. 1 in 3 users miss a payment. And guess what? BNPL companies don't just expect it, they thrive on it. That's when the late fees, penalty charges, and reactivation costs start pouring in. A financial feeding frenzy built on broken budgets. And while you're juggling payments, they're quietly harvesting something even more valuable than your money, your data. Every click, every purchase, every weak moment is tracked, sold, and weaponized to hunt you down with hyper-targeted ads. That weirdly specific ad you saw right after browsing? Not a coincidence. It's surveillance capitalism at its finest. Here's the darkest twist. Your tiny $30 or $75 loans don't just disappear. They get bundled, sliced, and sold off to financial giants as packaged debt, like what happened with mortgages before the 2008 crash. But this time, it's not your house on the line. It's your habits, your impulses, your future. Bottom line, Buy Now, Pay Later isn't here to help you. It's here to help companies sell more. And you're the product. But here's where it gets downright scary. They're taking your tiny loans, $30 here, $75 there, and packaging them into massive debt portfolios. Sound familiar? It's the exact same playbook banks used with subprime mortgages before the 2008 financial meltdown. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a wake-up call. Buy Now, Pay Later thrives because it's engineered to hack your brain. Here's how BNPL traps you in 4 sinister ways. This isn't accidental design, it's manipulation disguised as convenience. BNPL doesn't just split your payments, it numbs the pain of spending. The real cost? Carefully hidden, delayed, and distorted until it hits you like a freight train. Until then, you feel almost no pain. It's spending anesthesia. They exploit a basic human flaw called temporal discounting, our brain's nasty habit of chasing instant gratification while ignoring the future price tag. You're not just agreeing to $25 today, you're buying an illusion, one that vanishes right until the next payment drains your account. And they don't leave this to chance. Every countdown timer, every only 2 left banner, every fake scarcity alert, it's a psychological landmine designed to rush you, to panic you, to force your hand. The game is rigged and you're the player who doesn't even know it. Even the user interface itself is a predator in disguise. The BNPL button is big, bright, and pre-selected. No room for hesitation, no pause for thought. Before your rational mind can say, wait, is this smart? Your emotional brain has already clicked yes. So ask yourself, are you in control? Or are you just a pawn in a game designed to keep you spending? Blind, numb, and trapped. This isn't convenience. It's behavioral warfare disguised as ease. They don't want you thinking, can I afford this? They want you thinking, I only need $25 right now. On its own, BNPL isn't evil, but when people use it for everything, that's when it becomes dangerous. We've now seen Klarna and Afterpay options for DoorDash orders. Yes, you can now finance a $15 burrito over 4 payments of $3.75. If someone is financing a burrito, chances are they're financing a lot more. This leads to loan stacking, people taking out multiple BNPL loans at once. In 2022, 63% of BNPL users had more than 1 active loan. And because there's no real approval process, these programs are attracting the most financially vulnerable people. Those with low credit scores, minimal financial education, and little room for error. They click pay later again and again until the debt catches up. So the next time you see a buy now, pay later option, remember this. It's not just about the $25 today, it's about everything that comes after. Because while you're thinking short term, they're playing the long game.